Lope and Niedek-Minster welcome you to this broadcast of Varsity Baseball on NKTelco Sports. We are here at Fort Loramie High School, where the Russia Raiders will take on the Fort Loramie Redskins. Today's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Crown Equipment Corporation, First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Winners Meats, Sydney All-Glaze Audiology, Precision Strip, Wagner's IGA, Airstream, and NKTelco. Welcome again, everybody, to Fort Loramie, Ohio. We got two fantastic teams so far. They're doing great so far this season. Alongside me, Craig Fissinger. Tell me a little bit about Russia.
Well, I tell you what, Bryce, for me, it's exciting just to be around anything Russia Fort Loramie. It doesn't matter if it's basketball, baseball, backgammon, you name it. Just a lot of fun when these two schools get together. And yeah, Russia's started out really hot this season. Right now in the SCAL, they are 5-0 going up against the Fort Loramie team that's 4-1. And these two schools they lay it all out there when they play each other. And it's going to be a really good contest here, I think, today. Russia doing good on both ends, I guess you say, as far as pitching and hitting this season. And Fort Loramie, just the same, a typical Fort Loramie team, just always going to challenge you. And I think we're going to see that here this afternoon. Yeah,
both teams historically have been pretty good recently. Fort Loramie coming off of a really good season as well. And with the first pitch, just a little bit down low. It's ball one.
Yeah, these are two teams that met up last year. Of course, most folks remember in the regional finals. So a lot of the same people back for Russia, only graduating one senior, and Drew Sherman last year, one senior that played, that is. Fort Loramie actually started 6 of 9 were seniors. And, they've got 6 of 9 seniors out here again. They just constantly reload, have 2 junior varsity teams, and just have a lot to work with here.
Pitch right at the knees, but it looks like it's, oh no, they did catch the strike zone. 2-2 here.
Well, these guys have seen plenty of Derek Meyer.
Got him swinging.
Yeah, Derek's a guy that faced him, went a complete game against Russia just a week ago last Tuesday. And so the Redskins have seen plenty of Russia, and Russia the same. Like I said, Meyer is a guy that they're used to seeing. If you want to count summer baseball as well, they saw him pitch a complete game last summer.
Nice line drive into center field. That'll be a base hit for Xavier Flippo. Let's go through our keys to the game real quick here for Russia.
Yeah, for the Russia Raiders, it's going to be how they handle, as I just said, Derek Meyer. They saw him for 6 innings last week. Like we said, you want to count that summer Acme game that they saw him last. Before that, he threw 130 pitches in that one. And they're just going to have to, figure out Meyer, defend the bunt, the 2-strike hitting, as you see there on the screen, and execute the small ball game. That's something that Loramie's done very well against Russia. Russia's going to have to do it very well against Fort Loramie.
Hayden Quinter up to bat here for the Russia Raiders. Going to ground ball off to the right side. He's going to look to first, take the out there. Fielder's choice.
Yeah, this middle part of the lineup is extremely tough for the Russia Raiders, and as you saw, Hayden Quinter just ground out there, but Xavier Flippo before that got a base hit. And this 2 through 6 batters, I would say, Bryce, just really tough, and Derek Meyer's going to have to work through that part of the order. You can't just walk 5 guys in a row and get around that part. He's going to have to figure out how to stop this middle part of the Russia lineup.
Grant Saunders takes one low. We'll look at the starting lineup here for the Russia Raiders.
Well, we saw Zane Shappy start out the ball game, struck out, and then Xavier Flippo, of course, with a base hit, got on. Hayden Quinter with that fielder's choice, and now you got your cleanup batter there, and Grant Saunders. He is batting today for Jared Poling. Poling is down playing first base, and the 5th spot, you're going to have Braylon Cadonier, the freshman in this lineup. In the 6th position, Braden Monin. And then you got Aiden Shappy, Jude Counts, and Ross Fissinger.
Misplay by the third baseman. We got one runner moving to third. I'll take that one. Nice single off to the left side. Get a ground ball and got some good contact on one.
Yeah, and down there at that shortstop position for Fort Loramie, you got Evan Eilerman in the hole, and probably one of the better shortstops I've seen the last couple years. Has an extremely good arm. Well, if you can get it through that hole on the left side, you're doing something, because Eilerman has a lot of range and again, an extremely strong arm. We'll see what Russia's going to do here with runners on first and third. Hard to play the small ball game with 2 outs, but we'll see how they handle this. Cadogna, of course, in that game a week ago last Tuesday, got the big hit for the Russia Raiders. They were down 2-1 with the bases loaded. Cadogna hit a triple to right field to really win the game for Russia.
Takes one up at the belt just a bit high, and it'll be ball 1-1-1 on the count.
And for Braylon, the only lefty in this Russia lineup. Everyone else bats from the right side of the plate.
Fouled off left side in the air. He's running, and he can't quite get there. It's just out of play.
Braylon's one of those guys, Bryce, that works at his game a lot. He plays in the summer for the Dayton Classics, travel ball team there, and just puts a lot of time into his baseball game. Not only that, basketball as well. So just a busy guy all year round. And he likes to golf in the fall a little bit, too.
You know, that'll help you going on there. Looks to second, and he will throw it to first. That'll end the inning. One hit, no runs score across the plate here for Russia. Going to the bottom of the first, 0-0 here in Fort Loramie. Welcome back to Fort Loramie. Russia takes the field. Let's take a look at Fort Loramie's lineup here. Their batting order is going to start with Evan Eierleman and Derek Meyer at the top, who we just saw pitching for the Redskins. We got Clint Hilgefort in third, Taryn Fleckenstein the cleanup. Carson Tenery will take right field in the fifth hole. Catching behind the plate, we got Owen Plyman, Isaac Rademan, Logan Eilerman, and Maverick Grudich line up the 9 batters here for Loramie.
And Bryce, Coach Sanders has flipped this lineup around a little bit from just a week ago, last Tuesday, when these two teams met. Eilerman and Meyer led off this lineup. You had Logan Eilerman in that 8th spot, but besides those 3, I think every other one of these batters was in a different position, or maybe didn't even play last Tuesday. So a lot of depth on this Fort Loramie team, and Coach Sanders not afraid to mix it up a little.
And they're coming off a win against Independence, 9-2, so you know they had some pretty good offense. Hopefully, as I talked to the coach before the game, he's hoping to get some more in play, still play the small ball, but get it where the defenders aren't just executing and hitting the holes.
Well, this will be a good pitcher to play small ball against in Cadogna. He's just a freshman, and he started out his high school career, the first game of the schedule, going to Minster, and Coach Flippo gave him the starting assignment in that one. It was a good game. He did get the loss in that one, but what a start to your high school career, going up on the mound against the Minster Wildcats.
That one's up at the shoulders. 2-1.
And you can tell he's a guy that's learning a lot. He's gone 13 2/3 innings so far this season, leads the team in strikeouts with 17.
Fly ball deep to right into the gap, makes the catch. Had to run about 50 feet there. That was a good run.
Yeah, that was a nice catch there by Jude Counts. And here's a guy that's also learning the position. He's just a sophomore, and his first year on varsity. Last year played all junior varsity. He tracked that down very well. I saw some games earlier this year when wasn't quite so sure at that position. Just did a nice job going to the alley. I actually thought that thing was going to hit the gap and roll to the fence.
Definitely had a chance with the wind blowing, looks more right to left across the outfield, which is 320 down the left field line, 305 to right. That ball inside.
Derek Meyer, not only a good pitcher, he's also a good hitter. Went 3 for 3 in that game against Independence that you mentioned. Just an all-around ball player.
Those are the type of guys that you really build your team around when you have that chance. Hit into the gap on the left side, that'll be a base hit.
Nice job taking that pitch on the outside part of the plate and going where it was pitched, hitting it in that gap between third and short. Fissinger picking it up out there in left field and getting it right in. But Meyer's a guy you're going to have to watch him here, too. Prone to steal. And don't be surprised if Coach Sanders plays that small ball that we talked about Rushy playing and maybe laying down a bunt here for the number 3 batter.
Take that one up, shoulder high. That'll be ball number 1.
Clint Hilgefort in that 3 spot. Last week it was Isaac Ratterman who batted in the 3rd hole. Ratterman now down at number 7. I think Hilgefort was playing in 7 last week.
Popped up left side shallow, medium deep. Makes the catch. Runner does not advance.
Yeah, Meyer just went halfway on that one. Wasn't going to tag up. Just a shallow fly ball out to left field.
Taryn Fleckenstein's going to step into the dish here. Designated hitter will not field. We have Ty Ruenkamp for him fielding at first. It's one of those unique rules that you get in high school where you can have a guy that will not hit, but he'll field, or it's kind of almost the opposite of a designated hitter.
Yeah, I like it. I like the rule. And Fleckenstein, speaking of Meyer being good both ways, Fleckenstein picked up the win in that game against Independence on Tuesday.
Swing fouled off right side.
Yeah, that game he went 5 2/3 innings, only allowed 1 hit. Pretty nice option for coach to have Fleckenstein on the mound. Ruenkamp this year, I think he's coming back maybe from an injury right now. He normally would be their number 2 pitcher, but not pitching right now.
That pitch fouled back, still 0-2.
Meyer's getting a pretty good lead down there at first base. You notice Jared Poling playing in front of him. He gets on the bag and then comes off.
He's going about 6 feet off, and then, like right here, he's about 7-8 feet off. He's looking, throw back to first. No tag necessary.
Poling, one of the seniors on this ball team there at first base for Rushy, played that position his entire career.
Fouled off, shoulder high, still in play here. Makes the catch for the 3rd out. We're going to go to the 2nd inning. Still no score here in Fort Loramie. 0-0 Rushy Raiders and Fort Loramie Redskins here on NKTelco Sports.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? NKTelco Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. NKTelco is a global company that is growing with its sights on being a billion-dollar company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at NKTelco Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with NKTelco.
Back here in Fort Loramie, top of the 2nd inning, no score. 1 hit for each team so far, as Braden Monen's going to step into the dish.
Bryce Braden Monen leading Rushy in a lot of categories. One of those is batting average at .480. Just a sophomore and a very good hitter. Sitting down there in that number 6 spot, normally you expect your best hitter maybe to be batting 3rd or 4th, but hits 6th and gets a lot of RBIs as a result. Actually leads this team in RBIs with 10.
Working quick from the pitching rubber, already 0-2. This one up and out.
That's one thing about Derek Meyer. He works very fast and sometimes almost puts these hitters off balance. They have to call time sometimes just to keep from
in the dirt.
Him being in control so much. And, you know, the only guy that I've seen that does maybe works a little bit quicker was just earlier this week, a senior over at Jackson Center and Carson Regula, a guy that works super quick. Both him and Meyer challenging each other for the quickest game times.
Fouled up and out of play here on the first base side. We're sitting up above the Fort Loramie dugout here on the first base side. That one fouled, I think, almost into the track area there where the football field is. Swing and a miss. Got him on third strike. So he will sit down here in the second inning for the first out.
Bryce, I don't want to state my age here, but I played at this ball diamond for 4 years myself back in the 80s, and it was just when this field was first built, and it's just a beautiful complex. Never had this press box, but very nice.
Medium deep fly ball to center. Not a problem there. No, see, I wouldn't put any age on you here, because this is a very nice field. It's new to me as I've been kind of here in the area this the last several years, getting to see some games here.
Yeah, well, the track wasn't there back in the 80s, and neither was a lot of these amenities that they have now, just the field.
A very nice facility that Marion Local has here. Or, excuse me, Fort Loramie. I see blue and I see Marion Local. Different conference, too.
Yes. Yeah, the MAC is a conference that both these schools have been having trouble with. Fort Loramie 0-3 against the MAC, and Russia 0-2. The Coldwaters, the Minsters, the Versailles, the Marion Locals, they've all had Shelby County Athletic League's number.
Swing and a miss. Very quick work here for Fort Loramie. We're going to go to the bottom of the second inning here. Still no score in Fort Loramie on NKTelco Sports.
Located in Jackson Center, Ohio, Airstream is now hiring for numerous general production positions. Work first shift and earn up to $26 per hour with production and attendance bonuses, 401k employer match, medical, dental, and vision, plus an on-site health clinic, fitness center, and full-service cafeteria. Visit airstream.com/apply to learn more.
Bottom of the second inning here in Fort Loramie as Russia takes the field again, still no score. We're working quick here on a beautiful day. It's mid-60s, a steady breeze. Flag's going, it's not standing out straight, but it's got a good breeze out there. If you get out there in center field, the balls, they don't look like they're really swaying one way too much or the other. They're not having too much of an issue yet.
Yeah, I'll take the breeze with the warmth. Earlier this week, the 46 degrees with the same amount of wind was no fun for fans, ball players, you name it, announcers.
Oh my, yeah, the weather was, I don't even know if we could call it spring. We've been in spring, meteorological spring for how many weeks now, and we're now getting our first taste of it. Now, I will give you a little bit of a trivia question here.
I'm ready.
The weather that we had earlier this week, it was not snow nor was it hail. Do you know what the term for it was?
Not snow, not hail. Would that be sleet?
It wasn't quite sleet either.
Okay.
It's a term that's called grapple.
Grapple.
So basically, grapple is, you would think it would be sleet, but it's basically snow that's trying to form into hail, and it's still too warm for it. And so people confuse it a lot they're like, oh, it's sleet or it's snow. I didn't know it until I was watching Cleveland Browns game against the Raiders a year ago, and they had that for about half of the game.
Grapple, all right. Well, I don't like it. Whatever it was, I didn't like it.
It's a major inconvenience in my life. Once I hit 70 degrees, I don't want anything with this frozen precipitation. It can go ahead and just leave.
I'll just take sunshine.
Ground ball to second. He's going to throw to first. Easy out there. As Carson Tenery grounds out to the second baseman.
And Braden Monin down there at second base. Braden Monin, along with the pitcher, Braylon Cadine, are two guys that are the definition of utility guys for the Russia Raiders. Those guys can play second. You'll see them at shortstop, third base, sometimes left field, on the mound, just all over the place.
Owen Plyman fouls that one back. Yeah, I can imagine these guys are ready for weather like this, and shoot, when they play on Saturday, They're going to welcome that 80 degrees. I can guarantee it.
Well, the Fort Loramie Redskins have their Redskin Invitational this weekend, this Saturday, a couple games then, so they'll be praying for the nice weather.
They're taking on Indian Lake as that ball's just lined in the center field just over the glove of Braden Monin, excuse me. So that'll be a single for Owen Plyman. He gets on the board.
Second hit of the game for the Redskins, and Owen Plyman, very nice hitter. That first meeting they had between these two schools last Tuesday, Plyman was 2 for 3 in that game.
About lost my sheet there. That breeze comes in just a little bit, whips around in here. Pitch down low, just below the knees for a ball.
Cadonier's a guy that he works pretty quick on the mound, but he does throw a lot of pitches. As I said, still trying to figure out this varsity pitching. Last year thrown in 8th grade.
Line to the right side, out into the right field. That'll be another single. Everybody moves up.
Well, this is when the Fort Loramie Redskins did it last week in this matchup. In the second inning, they got 2 runs in that inning. And it's like they're getting something going here in the bottom of the second this afternoon.
Quick meeting at the mound. Aiden Shappy, what do you think he was going out there to say? They got 2 runners on now.
The small ball thing, if they laid out a bunt, what are you going to do? How are you going to cover this bunt? And Rushi's had problems with that before.
Oh, right over the press box here, fouled backing out of play.
Logan Eilerman's not a guy that I expect to bunt. He went 3 for 3 in that game last week, including a double, and he bats in the 8th spot, so a little deceiving. You think normally you're not as good a hitter, but he is a very good hitter for Fort Loramie, and like I said, sitting in that 8th spot, right where Coach Sanders wants him.
Ball chopped right at the plate. Doesn't go anywhere. It's foul.
I've been one of the 3 underclassmen in this lineup. As we said, 6 seniors that start out in the first 6 spots in this batting order. And you go junior, sophomore. Sophomore on deck right now, Maverick Grudich. But I'm surprised Sanders, I guess with an 0-2 count, he's probably no longer going to bunt, but didn't want to move those runners up. Maybe looking for something big here from Eilerman.
Maybe you can get a single here and not have to worry about it. Fouls it off. You don't want to foul with 2 strikes and risk the chance of fouling out.
Absolutely.
Striking out there.
Catcher Aiden Shappy shaking his hand back there. I don't know if that foul tip maybe went off his hand. Our home plate umpire, Adam Swigert, going out to talk to the pitcher. Adam Swigert behind the plate, and then on the bases we've got Dave McCartney. I verified that is not any relation to Paul McCartney out on the bases, but not sure if he has any musical talent either. But I'm not sure what home plate umpire Adam Swigert talked to the Hershey pitcher Cadonier about.
Yeah, I couldn't quite hear what he was saying. He was walking him out there and talking. Now he's talking to the catcher, giving him a few words there.
And maybe he was just giving Aiden Shappy, the catcher, time to shake that sting off his hand. Like I said, I think he got a foul tip off that bare hand.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good no matter what temperature it is, whether it's 40 or 140. That one's chopped high and on the left side. Third base is going to recover it, not in time. He's going to beat it out for an infield single. Everybody moves up.
Yeah, that took I'll call it an AstroTurf bounce. That thing really rocketed high in the air. By the time third baseman Hayden Quinter could come down with it, there really wasn't much he could do with it. Logan Eilerman very fast. He was probably 3/4 of the way down the line. By the time Quinter could get it out of his glove and try to get to the first baseman pulling, Eilerman was definitely safe. So bases loaded with 1 out for the number 9 batter.
Ground ball to the right side. He's going to look. Looks home, can't take it there. A runner will score.
Nice bit of hitting there by the sophomore. He did what he was supposed to do, make contact. Other than a base hit, you want him to put the ball in play, and by doing that, he got the run in. First baseman Jared Poling temporarily thought about going home, then thought better of it. I don't think he must have had a shot there at Owen Plyman heading home, so made the right move going to first base and getting the easy out. But Fort Loramie still threatening here in the bottom of the second.
So now with 2 outs, but likely off. He does swing it up the middle to second base. He flubs it a little bit. No throw.
Yeah, I'll call that an error. He didn't field it cleanly down there at second base, and Braden Mon and Eilerman very fast, and perhaps Mon thought he knew he was going to have to get that one cleanly in order to get that speedy runner and Eilerman out. Wasn't able to handle it. Eilerman safe. Run scores. You got runners on first and third. And the dangerous Derek Meyer at the plate.
2 runs scored so far this inning for Fort Loramie. First pitch in the dirt.
And one thing Conyers doesn't want to do right now is have a wild pitch and allow Eilerman to score from third base and keep that ball out of the dirt and still get an out here on Meyer.
Line drive too short. He did catch it. What a play. Nice diving stop to his left. He's going to get the third out of the inning. And of 2, Redskins get on the board with a few hits and some small ball. One of the keys to the game. Redskins up 2-0 as we head to the third here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Top of the third here in Fort Loramie. Russia coming back up to the bat as Fort Loramie gets on the board in the bottom of the second inning with 2 runs on 3 hits that inning with the help of an error. They're playing that small ball. That's one of their keys to the game.
Well, big help there from the bottom of the lineup. When you have your 6, 7, and 8 batters all get base hits in a row, then the number 9 batter and Grudich got the sacrifice for the run. Eilerman got on by the air. And a couple runs there for the Redskins from the bottom of the order, basically.
The bottom of the order traditionally is not the batch of hitters that you expect to get a lot of production out of, but those are the guys that are getting it here for Loramie.
As I said, Logan Eilerman batting 8th is kind of deceiving. Just a very good hitter and sitting down there in the 8th spot. Don't let that fool you. Speaking of hitters, you got the number 9 batter up for Russia and Ross Fissinger, and Fissinger's a guy hasn't got a lot of opportunities this year. He's only got 11 at-bats and just 1 hit. He's a guy that's the number 2 pitcher for Russia right now behind Xavier Flippo. And as a result, he's been designated hit for, I guess you say, a lot by Grant Saunders. Grant Saunders playing that designated hitter role, although he is the ace of this staff, just coming off an injury where he's going to debut his pitching arm this Saturday.
Swing and a miss, struck him out there. Ross Fissinger will sit down here in the top of the third off a swinging strikeout. A couple pitches there before the end of the at-bat. There was a check swing. It took him a minute for them to come down here and have the home plate ump ask if he had swung, and he did not. They were still talking about it here for a minute down here on the first base dugout.
And Derek Meyer doing a very nice job. He's already racked up 4 strikeouts so far here in the top of the third. Guy that works quick and accurate and got a pretty good fastball.
Southpaw delivers. That one fouled off. Looks like he's got a pretty good fastball and got some good command on it so far.
Yeah, he can throw that fastball and then keep you off balance with his off-speed stuff. Struck out Shappy to start this game out, and Shappy right now in a little bit of a hole.
Grounds it right back to him. Beads it to first. 2 down.
Russia really not. They had a little bit of a threat there in the first inning when they got Flippo all the way to third base, not able to get him across. And so far, these last couple innings, they went 1, 2, 3 in the second. And right now, the first 2 batters have gone down. Flippo, the only guy on the Raiders team right now with a base hit, and he's at the plate.
Yep, he made first base on a fielder's choice in the first inning, made it all the way around to third before the third out was called and the inning ended.
After that hit in the first inning, Filippo right now 10 for 28 on the season. Around that 333 mark. She actually has 8 of their 12 players batting above 300. Doesn't look like it so far against Meyer, but that's what they've done so far this season through 9 games.
Close pitch, not called a strike, and I'll correct myself there. He made the single. Was not a fielder's choice. He advanced on a fielder's choice after that. Swing chopped right at the plate. Still deuces wild.
Yeah, a little off-speed stuff there from Meyer. Kind of fooled Filippo, did a nice job of making contact just to stay alive.
Swing right over top of us, off the roof. Line foul.
I forgot my ball glove, Bryce.
Yeah, I have one back in my house today. I forgot to bring it in my car.
I might have had that otherwise.
2-2 pitch, down low, full count.
You know, another nice thing that Derek Meyer does so well, Bryce, is he will change arm angles, and we just saw it there at that last pitch. He'll drop it down to go to a 3/4, sometimes a sidearm delivery.
Line down the right side, foul ball, and it wasn't by much.
No, that line kind of disappears in the grass, and you're right, though. It wasn't by much, maybe a foot or two.
And this field dips about 50 to 70 feet. There's a pretty good drop-off on either side of the infield. Once you go out to the outfield, it dips pretty good and then comes back up to the foul pole on either side. So I can imagine that that's not easy to field, as with no issues fielding, grounded back to the pitcher for the third out as he throws to first. No score here added in the top of the third. Still 2-0 Redskins here as we go to the bottom of the third on NKTelco Sports.
Allglaze and Sydney Audiology are committed to providing the most advanced and affordable hearing care solutions.
Did you know that more and more insurances are offering coverage for hearing aids and that we are the most comprehensive provider in the area?
Because we want to serve all in our community, we partner with agencies such as Medicaid, OOD, Sertoma, and most recently the VA, helping our veterans find local solutions to their problems.
Don't leave unused benefits on the table this year. Call us today to see if you qualify.
Bottom of the third. No score added in the top of the third as we go here to the bottom of the inning. Still 2-0. Quick work for Fort Loramie in the top of the inning. Strikeout and 2 groundouts back to the pitcher. Really did it all himself.
Yeah, you think coming into this playing against Derek Meyer, okay, this is a guy we saw just a week ago. We've seen him plenty. We should be getting used to him and able to capitalize off seeing him so much. But I tell you what, when you're a good pitcher, you're a good pitcher, and it doesn't matter. The guy can throw against Varsity every other time he plays him, and he's still tough. He's still tough to beat. Doesn't matter how many times you see him. But we'll see as this game goes on if Varsity can adjust, make adjustments, and starting out a little slow here right now, but not the Redskins. They got 2 runs the last inning. We'll see what they can do this inning with the meat of the lineup coming up.
First pitch of the inning, just a bit outside. Ball number 1 there.
Clint Hogeford in that Independence game went 1 for 2 with a couple RBI.
Pitch just a little bit low.
As I said, batting in that 3-hole here today.
And he gets one across the plate for strike 1. Fort Loramie's looking to get some win streaks going. They've got 2 win streaks so far this year of 3 games. Seeing if they can get more, because right now they've already got more losses, or an equivalent. They've got an equivalent amount of losses, or is it more than they had all last year when they got to pretty deep in the state run. As he draws a walk
Yeah,
Finished 27-3 last year.
Yeah, I don't think that bothers Coach Sanders at all. And he cares about the record, but he doesn't. I mean, they're playing schools like Coldwater and Minster and Marion Local, 3 very good MAC teams. They play Wheelersburg, made a trip down there, a game that they won. And, inviting independents from Cuyahoga County. How do you know anything about them? Invite them in. Yeah, we'll play you for sure. So, he's more about playing good competition than the wins and losses.
The ball popped up on the infield in foul territory. Makes the catch.
Unless you're in the SCAL, he wants to win those games. Don't get me wrong there.
Right.
Now batting number 20, Carson Tennery.
Yeah, these teams met up in the playoffs last year. So, when you meet in the regional final against a conference opponent, you're going to be fighting with them for a while.
It's happened plenty of times in history, these two teams meeting up somewhere along that tournament trail, regional finals and so on. And it's just two schools that traditionally make deep tournament runs, two schools that traditionally are fighting for the league. Anna's another one of those schools that traditionally is competing for the league, although this year they're definitely down. So I think it's just right now you're looking at Fort Loramie, Russia, and Botkin's a very good team this year. And Jackson Center, saw them earlier this week. They're a very good team as well. Maybe the record doesn't show it so much, but very competitive. But six county game for each of these schools. And usually when you get to the 6th game, Bryce, that means you're halfway through the round robin where you play each team twice, but not the case for these two schools. Russia yet to play Botkins. They haven't played them at all. And Fort Loramie yet to play Fairlawn. So they're both in their 6th games, but because of weather delays and postponements, schedule gets mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, when you're starting the season as early as you do here in Ohio, really, you play any games before May, you're going to have games that are impacted by weather more often than not. We're finally getting what looks to be some good weather here coming in the next week or so. These guys can get some made-up games in and get their schedule rolling.
Well, I know Russia would love to go to 6-0 and take that 2-game lead on the Redskins right now. And of course, Fort Loramie, they want to knot this thing back up 5-1 for both these teams if they can get the win today. Very big game.
Ground ball to the shortstop. To second for 1. To first. Got him for the double play to end the inning. The walk comes to nothing. It'll be the end here of the 3rd inning. 2-0 Fort Loramie over Russia here on NKTelco Sports. Top of the 4th here in Fort Loramie. Russia down 2-0 as they come to the plate. Beautiful day for baseball here with Russia head coach Kevin Flippo. Solid connection here in this game.
Yeah, he used to be an assistant coach here for a long time, actually under Coach Bill Sturwald, who won a couple state championships here for Fort Loramie back in 2007 and 2010. Flippo was part of the staff here and then finally got an opportunity 7 years ago to come to Russia. Head coach position came open there. He took that role. And then about 4 years ago, the coaching position here at Fort Loramie came open and Jeff Sanders jumped on that one. Jeff Sanders, a 1989 Fort Loramie alum, coaching for his alma mater, as is Kevin Flippo, a 95 alum at Russia, coaching for his alma mater. So nothing better than coaching at the school that you used to play for and having good kids like both these schools have.
Yeah, it's always good for an alumni to come back and help with their team, whether it was one that they played for and are now coaching those guys, or they're just getting involved with the school that they grew up in and graduated from. So that's always something that's cool for anybody to see, and it's It's a fun thing to see for his coaches. It's a ground ball through the left side. Easy single, seeing eye single, some would call it.
Yeah, the second hit for the Russia Raiders, and Hayden Quinter, a guy that's been hitting pretty well all season. He's batting .438 coming into today. That's his 15th hit of the year in 34 at-bats. He's a guy that can also steal a base, too. We'll see if Meyer can keep him close. Kind of hard to get a big lead against a lefty like Meyer. They
up to first.
Yeah, he got that nice move there where it's almost 3/4. It looks like he's going to the plate, but he's actually going towards first base, and trying to figure that out can be kind of tricky. Umpire's got his eye right on him, as you see.
You don't want to risk a balk. Ground the ball to the shortstop, gets it to second, and they said he was off the bag. He got it there in time, but his foot was just off, and he slid right off. He had to reach for it.
Yeah, Eilerman made a nice play in the hole, and as I said a little earlier, a very nice shortstop. He was kind of falling away, made that throw, made a strong throw, but yeah, he pulled the second baseman off the bag there a little bit, and Maverick Grudich there tried to keep his toe on the bag, wasn't able to, and so now Hershey in business here with 2 runners on to start out this top of the 4th inning.
Nobody out yet, so yeah, they got those 2 runners on now. Finally, a runner in scoring position, popped up out of play on the left side. Russia really hasn't had much in the way of getting runners past second so far here, and we're only in the 4th inning already.
Well, they got Flippo to third there in the 1st inning, and then they stranded him down there. Right now, you got Cardagna up. As I said, he had the big triple last Tuesday.
He grounds it to second. Throws it to second, the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that was kind of too slow of a roller to actually turn the double play. Grudich charged that one, got it over to Eilerman, but Eilerman really didn't have enough time to get Cardagna out heading to first. So Rushia's got him on the corners with 1 out. We'll see what Coach Flippo wants to do here. With 1 out, you might see him playing some small ball. He likes to lay down that bunt and possibly score Quinter from third base, and maybe even get the runner on safely if Loramie doesn't handle that bunt.
Yeah, it's the perfect bunt situation. He steps off the rubber.
And it's something Fort Loramie did a lot of against Russia last year in that regional final to get runs, see if Russia can return the favor.
Drops one in there for a strike. That's a good pitch.
On the other hand, you got your best hitter coming up in Braden Monin, batting .480, almost .500. Hate to sacrifice him. Monin did get the walk-off single against Jackson Center on Tuesday night in a game at Russia. It was went to the 8th inning, extra innings. Russia had runners on second and third, and Monin able to get a single out the left center field to win that game.
He's going to hit it to second base. Nice stop there. Throws to first to get the out. Runner does come home. They get on the board, though.
Yeah, I know Coach Flippo's got to be pleased with that. He would have been more pleased with a single, but he is so big about pushing that ball to the other side of the field, and that was an excellent job, a textbook job by Braden Monin, pushing that ball to the right side, scoring that run. Yeah, they had to give up an out for it, but Rushia's now on the board and maybe a little bit momentum going here.
Runner on second with 2 down. It's now 2-1. Rushia's deficit just 1. Check swing, but he goes. That'll be strike 1.
Aiden Shappy, a longtime varsity player. He's a senior this year. Actually played varsity back when he was a freshman, and got a lot of time here on this varsity squad. Started out the season kind of slow. Hasn't been hitting real good here, as you see him sitting down there in the lineup. Actually had a 1-base hit against Jackson Center on Tuesday. Starting to heat up here a little bit, but Shappy right now under batting .286 coming into today.
That pitch just a bit high right at the belt, though. 2-1 count. Rushia's getting the ball in play, and they're getting some runners on now. You've got another runner still in scoring position. You got to try and execute on this one, as that pitch is just a bit high. It's not by much.
Well, with 2 outs and Cardagna, the lead that he's getting down there at second base, you got to figure he's going to be off on contact regardless of where that ball goes, unless it's right down that third base line.
Pops this one up into right center field. Right fielder calls it, makes the catch to end the inning. Russia gets on the board here in the 4th inning. It's now 2-1 as Fort Loramie takes the field, or comes off the field, will take the plate to hit here in the bottom of the inning, coming up on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? Nidec Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. Nidec is a global company that is growing with its sights on being $1 billion company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at Nidec Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with Nidec.
NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of today's high school varsity baseball action on NKTelco Sports. It'll be replayed on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Tuesday, April 26th at 5 p.m. and the following day, Wednesday, April 27th at 7 p.m. You can also watch the games and more on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at NKTelcosports.com. We're going to the bottom of the fourth here, 2-1. The teams are now both getting on the board. They're getting some hits. They're getting in their groove. Do you think Fort Loramie can add on to this one? Now they've kind of gotten in a groove, but they haven't scored since the second inning.
Well, they're coming into this bottom half of the lineup, and as I said earlier, you think, okay, that's when we get some easy outs, but not for the Redskins. That's when they made things happen back in the second inning with the 6, 7, and 8 batters getting 3 consecutive singles. That's who's coming up here now is the 6, 7, and 8 batters. We'll see what Cordonier's going to do against these guys, if he's learned anything from that first time around. And yeah, this was a game we saw last week where it was kind of slow in those middle innings. A little bit of scoring was done in that second inning by both teams, and then nothing happened again until the 6th inning. So those middle innings really slow. We'll see if that's the case here this afternoon.
First pitch hit straight to the shortstop, and he can't get it. Definitely going to give that one an error there. I don't know if that one looked like it hit the grass or it might have hit the dirt, and there was a clump of dirt, I think, and it flubbed straight up into the left side of his chest. He couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, Flippo, normally a very steady fielder out there, and that one took a wicked hop. It went straight at him, but it just took it hit something and came off his chest, knocked it down, but couldn't make a play.
That pitch will be a ball. So now with less than 2 outs, you got a runner on base. At what point do you consider bunting again?
We haven't seen any attempts here today, which has surprised me because both these coaches are very big about that small ball. As Shappy throws one down to first, that's not unusual for him to wing a few of them down to first base. But
you don't want to get caught off guard there, and he was about 15 feet off of the base path. Well, not the base path, off of first base. Had to run back, and that diving attempt was a lot closer than I think he wanted it to be.
Lone Pliman's got a huge lead down there at first base, actually getting both feet beyond that little arc there. And boy, I don't typically see guys get that big of a lead. I gotta think that he's either going to take off here eventually.
On a 2-1 count, it's about the time you would think he might try and steal. He doesn't here, but it's grounded too short. He fields it cleanly this time to second for 1, 2 first for the double play.
We've seen that before.
Half of the guys on the infield thought that was the end of the inning. There's only 2 down.
Well, it's something in high school ball. You don't see as many double plays as maybe you see at other levels, but very fun to get one of those. That's the second one Rushie's got. They had one the last inning as well, that 6-4 to 3. And that really is takes the air out of you if you're up to bat.
Yeah, puts a little bit more pressure on you when you're, instead of having 1 down or 2 down, you're now at the plate with bases empty, and it's all on you to get the inning to stay alive.
Yeah, and sometimes it can rally your batters too. You come in after a play like that, and guys are fired up. Going to have to try to stay fired up here, maybe with a strikeout by Cordonier, but yeah, if you can come off the field after a double play, that brings a lot of energy to that dugout, and a lot of times that can carry over to your at bats.
And hopefully Rushie can come back with that in the next inning as he gets a strikeout here. That double play does help out massively for the Raiders. Ready to go to the 5th inning here. Stays 2-1 in Fort Loramie here on NKTelco Sports.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
Wegner's IGA have been servicing their communities for more than 90 years, spanning 3 generations. Wegner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and a variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wegner's today in Minster, Fort Loramie, and New Bremen.
Fifth inning here in Fort Loramie as the sun is slowly creeping down here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. 2-1 Redskins in front. Ruschi was able to score last inning. Redskins here trying to add on to their lead. Hopefully trying to secure the win as they get ready to go into the Fort Loramie Invitational on Saturday, playing Indian Lake in their first game.
Yeah, also Minster and Cincinnati Christian in that invitational as well. A lot of good teams. Loramie tries to bring in a lot of good schools for that, and a lot of fun. Done a lot of fun things this year if you're a Fort Loramie fan.
Ball popped up right side in foul territory just barely, but he makes the catch down there at first.
And not only did they have that Fort Loramie invite, but as I said, went to Wheelersburg, played at VA Memorial Stadium down there, which is a nice complex in Wheelersburg. You know, they brought the team in from Cuyahoga County earlier this week, played at Day Air Ballpark against Bethel. That's a lot of fun. Just if you're a Fort Loramie fan, just a lot of fun things to do with the ball team. And it makes for a lot of memories if you're a senior or at any grade.
First pitch strike there. Working quick, another swing way up out of the zone.
Well, we talked about Ruschi maybe bringing some energy into the dugout after that double play and strikeout. And so far, their first 2 batters have gone down.
Your center fielder, number 18, Zane Shappy.
That'll bring Zane Shappy to the plate here in the top of the 5th. Ground ball to third. Struggles with it. Throws to first in time. Makes the throw. A little struggle there on defense, but no issues there. Fort Loramie with very quick work here in the top of the 5th. Middle of the 5th here in Fort Loramie. It's 2-1 Redskins over the Raiders on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Redskins. Here in Fort Loramie. Braylon Cordonier still on the hill. Not too much of an issue so far. He's mitigated the damage here. 2 straight innings of zeros. That last inning made some quick work.
Ruschi went down quickly in that one. 1-2-3 inning for the Raiders. That's the 3rd time they've done that in 5 innings. As you said, makes for a quick game, 2-1. But this is a game. It's still wide open here, and one of these teams is likely to have some type of big inning before this one's up, and we'll see which team it is. You talked about Fort Loramie, what they've got coming up on Saturday for the Ruschi Raiders. On Friday night, they will travel to Arcanum, got a game on the road. This is just their 3rd road game so far this year, this Fort Loramie game out of 10 contests. And then on Saturday. They were supposed to play at Riverside, but they will actually be playing that game back in Russia because it is Russia prom night. All these guys get ready for prom.
An absolute screamer right back to him. Great reaction there. Unbelievable play.
Yeah, that was one that quick reflexes by the pitcher. Boy, sometimes those can get kind of nasty when they get lined right back up the middle like that. Nice job there by Braylon. I'm sure mom and dad were probably wincing a little bit on that when they're standing along the fence down there.
Yeah, that's one winner's quality meets replay they do not want to see. That one came right back at his head, but he had a great reaction there. Got the glove up in time, which is good technique that they teach you as a pitcher, where to hold your glove when you're pitching. So if you pay attention to where he has it after he follows through, that's huge. See, he swings it down a little bit, but he brings it right back up.
Yeah, Cadiner's a tall pitcher, and when he comes off that rubber, he's a lot closer to the plate than maybe a Derek Meyer or someone. So a little bit less reaction time for him. And when you get a screamer coming back in the middle, you better have your glove in the right spot.
Can't field that one, though. That one's going to be up the middle for another Loramie base hit.
That's the 5th hit for the Redskins. The first one for Eilerman. One of those other hits by the guy that's coming to the plate here, and Derek Meyer. Rushi's had back-to-back double plays these last 2 innings. I'm sure they're hoping for another one of those tailor-made ground balls here right now from Meyer.
He's going on a steal. Can't hang on to the throw. Of his stolen base.
Yeah, nice jump there by Evan Eilerman. That was one thing Fort Loramie had a ton of last year was speed. Eilerman, one of the holdovers from last year, was a junior shortstop for that team that had 6 senior starters, and he was one of those guys that was very fast, and we just saw it there with that stolen base. Don't be surprised if he tries to swipe third as well.
That was a great reaction. He's about 15, 20 feet off of second base now. Oh, that was inside. But it caught the strike zone.
You know, and him being a senior and you got a freshman on the mound might try to take advantage of a lack of experience by the pitcher. See if he's giving him any attention down there at second base. And if he's not, like I said, don't be surprised if Eilerman takes off. And then if by chance that ball goes out in the left field, you got a run scored. So you got to be awful careful if you're the Russia Raiders. Behind home plate, Aiden Shappy, very good arm. But if Eilerman takes off for third and Shappy makes that throw, you better make sure it gets to your third baseman and not over his head.
Yeah, good technique to turn around and throw back to second there. He's going for third. He's going to try and steal the bunt. The run and hit. And that throw is going to get there, but not in time. It's going to go by into the backstop. He runs to second on the throw. A run scores. It's now 3-1.
Yeah, it's one thing that Russia has just had a lot of problems with this year is bunt coverage. And that one, it was a perfect bunt. It was put down that third base line. Quinter was playing pretty far back, probably just at the edge of the grass, and tried to pick it up, throw it on his off foot, made kind of a wide throw to pulling down at first base. And not only does Fort Loramie get the run, now they got a guy standing on second base.
Pitch in the dirt, and he's going to advance to third on the ball going to the backstop.
Yeah, you wonder if you got your pitcher rattled a little bit there with that run that just scored, and then his next pitch is down in the dirt. Army with a runner on third, only 1 out, and Redskins trying to tack on another run. Already got a 2-run lead here, 3-1, and looks like we're gonna get a conference on the mound.
Kevin Flippo is going to come out and talk to him with a runner on third.
I think he's just trying to settle his pitcher down for one, Bryce, and probably also talking about, if they happen to try to lay another bunt down, how are we going to cover this? They call out plays, they call out numbers, 51, 31, 32, whatever you want to say. All those numbers represent what they're going to do, who's charging on a bunt. And so I'm sure Coach Flippo wants to make sure they know what's going on so they don't get another easy run. And he's probably also, again, trying to settle his pitcher down, knowing that his pitcher just threw a couple wild pitches. And I don't think
he had the errant throw to first too.
Yeah.
So you got guys that are a little bit rattled. They're trying to do a little too much. And there's 1 out in the inning, so you got to run on third. Right now, it's just mitigate the damage. You don't want to get if he does score, just don't throw the ball away and have this guy running back to second again and have him deja vu from what you just had, and then have the guy end up on third again, and then you have the cycle repeating over and over.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to go out there and make a pitching change. I know his confidence that he has in his freshman, and even though he's a freshman, he's a very mature freshman at that, and his pitch count isn't that far up right now, and like I said, just trying to settle him down, I think was all he was trying to do. But you'll see the infield now is on the grass.
Yeah, they're in tight here for the infield, and even the outfielders are only about half deep, so they're playing for, if he does bloop it, doesn't get too far, it keeps him at a single, or you got these guys in here expecting.
Well, Hilgefort's showing the bunt.
He's going to foul that one back.
A lot of times you'll see them show that bunt to get those infielders charging in, and then they'll pull it back and maybe do that slug bunt or whatever you want to swing away kind of thing. But that one he was definitely trying to lay down, and yeah, it's almost they're challenging the Russia Raiders. Here, we're going to bunt it, see if you guys know how to cover this. And if they can't cover it and Fort Loramie scores a run, that's really deflating if you're the defense.
The third baseman was coming in there. He was expecting that bunt there, even though he didn't show it. He was ready for a quick drag bunt, maybe run down to third, or run down to first.
And he showed the bunt there and pulled it back, and you don't know if he's trying to safety squeeze, they call it. The guy's not, it's not a suicide squeeze, but just really confusing the Raiders.
Bunt showed foul. Strike two.
Yeah, now with 2 strikes, you don't expect that bunt. Not that he still couldn't do it, but if you're the defense, you're probably not charging on this one, although they're still going to stay in on the grass trying to prevent that run from scoring.
Yeah, the runner is about 2-3 feet in from the cut of the grass on the infield. 2-2 count. One down here in the bottom of the fifth. Runner at third. The pitch just a bit outside. Now the count's full. The runner on third.
Or what we call the payoff pitch on the way.
Sets, fires, swings, launches it pretty deep to center. Still going back. Makes the catch. Runner's going to tag. Valiant throw, doesn't get to home plate. Runner scores though. It's now 4-1 Russia.
Yeah, nice
down, but that was a good fielding there by the outfielders. They were in the right position. Infielders did what they could, but that was a solid hit. And it got the runner home.
Yeah, with a 3-2 count, Hilgefort did exactly what he needed to do, was make contact, and not only did he make contact, he got it out of the infield, got the sacrifice fly, got a big insurance run for the Redskins as they now take a 3-run lead.
Loramie's now 4-1. 1-1 count here with 2 down in the bottom of the fifth. Russia's going to have a lot of pressure on them here in the top of the sixth to try and keep this game going and send it to the bottom of the sixth.
Well, they're bringing a good part of the lineup, that 2 through 6 batters that I talked about earlier being so tough. We'll see how tough they are against Meyer in the top of the 6th inning. But Cadania right now just trying to get out of this 5th.
That pitch high. Counts even at 2.
A lot of smart veteran coaches on these teams. We talked about Flippo and Sanders and their backgrounds. You down here at first base, you got Coach Mike Shields, a Russia alum, but has been part of the staff along with Sanders. He was with Bill Sturwald prior.
That pop foul. He makes the catch in foul ground for the 3rd out. We're going to go to the top of the 6th. Crunch time here for the Russia Raiders as they're down 4-1 to the Fort Loramie Redskins here on NKTelco Sports.
Located in Jackson Center, Ohio, Airstream is now hiring for numerous general production positions. Work first shift and earn up to $26 per hour with production and attendance bonuses, 401k employer match, medical, dental, and vision, plus an on-site health clinic, fitness center, and full-service cafeteria. Visit airstream.com/apply to learn more.
Last chance for the Russia Raiders here as we go to the top of the 6th. It's 4-1 Fort Loramie. With the wind, it's still pretty strong going right to left, but temperature nice and warm. These guys are comfortable. They're warmed up. They're ready to go here for the 6th inning.
Russia's a team that can hit it long. They've got 2 home runs on the season. Hayden Quinter, who will be coming up here next, has a solo home run earlier this year, and Jude Counts, who's batting down in the order, had a 3-run homer a little earlier this year as well. So they're the team that can hit the long ball. Helps when the wind's blowing out a little bit, for sure.
Yeah, if you get a good lift out to left field, it's only 320 down the line. It's 375 to center and 305 to right. You have a chance to hit it. If you really hit it down the lines here and get some power on it, you have a chance with 6-foot walls to get something on it. But he's going to line it straight to the shortstop. Unfortunate to see there for Russia, and Xavier Flippo, probably not what he wants in his last possible at-bat of the day.
Well, that's baseball. You know, sometimes you hit the ball right on the screws, as they say, but you hit it right at a fielder, and other times you get a weak liner that happens to just drop in there for a base hit.
It's very good contact. That one not as much as it's fouled over here on the right side, out of play. Hayden Quinter has scored and hit into a fielder's choice so far today. Single back in the 4th, fouled off there on the right side again. This one on the ground, 0-2.
Yeah, this is a pretty young Russia team. You know, your top 3 batters, all underclassmen. Quinter here, a sophomore. The batter before that, Flippo, was a junior, and their leadoff batter also a junior. A little opposite of Fort Loramie, who has 6 seniors in their lineup. But this Russia squad, just 2 seniors that are in the batting lineup. Grant Saunders and Aiden Shappy.
That pitch just up a little bit, counts 2-2. That one fouled off again, stays alive.
And Bryce, if the crowd looks a little thin to you here tonight, that's because there's a big Russia-Fort Loramie softball game going on over in Russia right now, and those 2 teams battling for first place in the SCAL as well.
So this is a big day for Russia-Fort Loramie. That one hit in the air to right field, medium deep right to the right fielder, 2 down, and it's going to be the last chance for Russia.
Well, Grant Saunders here in the top of the 6th inning here is going to have to make something happen because, you know, it's about time if you're a Russia Raider. Haven't been hitting too well, and Saunders is one of those guys right now. Did get on an air back in the 1st inning, but hit into a fielder's choice in the 4th, and he's due, as they say.
Swing, miss, foul, right in the dirt.
He's a guy that's going on to play college baseball. Will be a pitcher over at Walsh University. Getting ready to head there this fall, play some fall baseball as well as spring baseball.
0-2 pitch, 2 down in the dirt. 1-2. He's still surviving on that last strike.
And you might wonder if he's going to be an ace pitcher that's going to Walsh. Why isn't he pitching here today? Well, that's because he's nursing an injury that happened in the preseason. As I said a little earlier, getting scheduled to throw for the first time this Saturday when they host Riverside. Coach expecting to throw him just a couple innings, start to get him hit him warm back up. But he was the ace of this staff last year. Hasn't pitched at all this season so far.
That ball now high, full count. With 2 down. Last strike here possibly. But he hits it straight to center. Diving catch in center field to end the ball game.
That's just the 6th inning. We still got one more to play. We got one more to play.
I don't want a 7th game. Come on, let's go. Man, I'm getting excited. Middle of the 6th. It's 4-1 here for Loramie on NKTelco Sports. Don't go away. So I guess I'll put on the headset here. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ball game's not over yet.
We don't want to waste a beautiful day like this.
No, this is perfect baseball weather.
Unless you got stuff to do. I don't know.
Well, maybe I was going to go down there and play. I said ball game for the broadcast, and I head down there on the field. No, I'm still going to have to play, right?
I tell you what, Bryce, I got excited here today. I saw the OHSAA send out a press release that they confirmed that where the spring state tournaments were going to be at, and they confirmed, as most people knew, that the state baseball tournament will once again be at Canal Park up there in Akron. I've never been up there, and I've been told it's a very beautiful facility. Of course, the Fort Loramie Redskins were there last year. But, you know, we got to that state final game, so got to play a couple games up there. But hopefully one of these two teams from Shelby County athletically will get there this year. And, you know, it's the only one can make it because they'll meet up at somewhere along the lines. And like last year, the Redskins and Raiders meeting up in that regional final. But excited to hear that it's back up there. And, again, I've been told it's a very beautiful place.
Yeah, I haven't been over there personally, and I hear a lot about at least the minor league stadiums that are here in Ohio that are very highly regarded around the country, and Akron's a great place for what used to be the Akron Arrows, now the Akron Rubber Ducks. Now they're playing the state ball over there. I've been to Huntington Park a couple times when the Wapakoneta Redskins made it in 2012 and 2018.
Well, these Russia Raiders got to play there at Huntington Park back in 2017 when they made it to the state finals, met the Minster Wildcats of all teams in the state finals, lost in that finale there. A lot of locals in town for that. That was a lot of fun. Got to attend that as well as go over to the state track meet. Went back and forth that weekend. But Huntington Park, as you said, another very nice park.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a travel for these teams on the western side or the southwestern side of the state. Nice diving stop there at first. Makes the play back to the pitcher. He runs over and covers it. One down here. That was a great play.
Yeah, it was, by Jared Poling. And he's a guy that's not batting here today, has batted all season, but has yet to get his first hit. So Coach Filippo decided to give him a little bit of a break, have him playing defense only, and focusing on his defense here, making the most of that play.
That first pitch here, the next at bat, is a ball.
Owen Plyman, he's a guy that knows how to get on base, had a base hit back in the second, and then got on via an error in the fourth.
So now, I have this question for a lot of catchers. Do they have an advantage at the plate being a guy that knows his pitcher? Does he have an advantage against opposing pitchers? I mean, you being a former player, I don't know what position you played or what positions you played.
Yeah, I was an infielder, and I don't know that a catcher has an advantage up there. That he maybe he certainly sees a lot of balls come across from his own pitcher, but as far as the other pitcher, the only time he sees that is when he's at the plate himself. And I wouldn't say that an opposing catcher has an advantage, although Owen Plyman sure doesn't act like it.
Yeah, ground ball into left field. That'll be another single for him. Yeah, they see a lot of pitches come across the plate, so you would think maybe that logically they would see and understand the sequence from their pitcher. Maybe if they know what the opposing pitcher has that they're going up against, they might know that sequence a little bit. But those are almost the same kind of guys that they're going to throw something off at you to really throw you off your game because you might know them. Yeah. So that kind of throw you off a little bit and keep you off balance.
Owen Plyman is just a good hitter, and so that's no surprise that he got another base hit. He's the only player so far in the game to have multi-hits. He picked up his second, now 2 for 3 on base all 3 times. And as we said earlier, gets that very big lead down at first base. I'm surprised at how big that lead is.
Enough to make him throw back to first, not in time.
Cadanya, a guy, as we keep saying, as a freshman, just learning this role as a varsity pitcher and doesn't have the greatest pickoff move here right now, but something he'll get better at.
Laced that one into left field. That's going to be another single. Runners on first and second now with only 1 out. Back-to-back, hitting it to the same spot. Is that a trend that could be worrying for Russia if you're hitting the same thing into the same spot?
Yeah, Isaac Ratterman, he was a guy we said last Tuesday batted in the 3-hole. He's batting in the 7th spot, so probably a pretty big hitter normally for Coach Sanders. He's the second player with multi-hits. Now him and Plyman both with 2 hits in this game.
Bunt attempt missed, 0-1.
Logan Eilerman, we've talked about what a good hitter he is, batting in that 8th hole. He had 3 hits against Russia last week. He has a hit so far tonight. Did strike out back in the 4th inning, but now he's showing the bunt. Sanders trying to get one more insurance run, just keep tacking it on.
He's going to spin around and throw it back to second. No slide. He's going to stay there safe. Russia's looking like they want to play double play depth, but they're also playing for the bunt. So it's a little bit of a different defensive scheme that you have to really know your position, play your position well to be able to take advantage of that. But it's a fly ball to right. That's not going to make a difference. Makes the catch, nearly overthrows the shortstop there to keep the runners at bay at first and second, now 2 down.
Yeah, Jude counts out there in right field. Another pitcher that will come on, about the number 4 or 5 pitcher for Coach Filippo. Does have a very good arm, and he wheeled that one and fortunately, shortstop Xavier Filippo, the nephew of Coach Kevin Filippo, able to jump up and snag that one.
That pitch foul back on the bunt attempt. Yeah, I think it looked like he was trying to throw it to third, and shortstop said, nah, just climbed the ladder to hang on to it. He's like, I'm going to cut it off, keep the runner at second. Both runners taking pretty decent leads. That ball in the dirt, the breaking ball.
Probably been hearing me say that Filippo name a lot. Not only is Xavier Filippo the shortstop, and as I said, his uncle is the head coach, and Kevin Filippo, Xavier Filippo's dad, Scott Filippo, on that Russia bench, actually a coach for them, an assistant coach, not down at first base where Coach Aaron Monen's at, but in the dugout, keeping things in order.
Family ties running deep.
Yeah.
That ball low and outside there, 2-1 with 2 down here. Still 2 runners on. Ball just a bit outside again. 3-1.
Yeah, Fort Loramie's able to load up the bases here. They're going to be bringing up their number 9 batter, and I expect maybe something from him.
Takes, but
yeah,
it's a ball. They're going to give it to him. The bases now are loaded with 2 down.
I'm sorry, that was their number 9 batter, but I meant bringing up the top of their order, and that's going to be a problem if you're a Russia Raider here. So it looks like Coach Filippo wants to talk about it.
And with nobody in the bullpen, you know it's just going to be a quick talk with the runners. Now you got a lot of damage to mitigate here. Bases loaded. Nobody's scored yet this inning, but you want to give yourself a chance in the top of the 7th.
Well, Coach Filippo did take the ball from Kurt Credonier there, and he's going to call it a day for his freshman, as looks like the catcher Hayden Quinter's putting on the gear, and Aiden Shappy, the catcher right now, taking off the gear. So what's going to happen here is Credonier's going to move over to third base, the pitcher. You're going to have Aiden Shappy, who's behind the plate. He's going to come up on the mound, and Hayden Quinter, who was down at third base, is going to go behind the plate. So just kind of making a rotation there between home, third, and the pitcher. So we're going to have a little bit of time while both those guys change their gear.
Yep, we'll take a quick break here while they're going to give him a chance to warm up here. Pitching change here in the bottom of the 6th. Fort Loramie up 4-1 here on NKTelco Sports.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? NKTelco Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. NKTelco is a global company that is growing with its sights on being a billion-dollar company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at NKTelco Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with NKTelco.
Bases juiced here with a pitching change for Ruschi. Aiden Shappy coming from behind the plate now to the pitching mound.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, Bryce, that Coach Flippo typically brings on when he needs a strikeout. And I've seen him many times where he'll pull a pitcher in the middle of an inning. And I've asked, what did you say to that pitcher? And he said, hey, you did a nice job, but I need a strikeout. And that's why he brings Shappy in. Shappy actually picked up his first win of the season on Tuesday against Jackson Center. Only threw 2/3 of an inning, but they took Cadonier out of that one after getting the first out. And Shappy ended up finishing that game off with a strikeout to pick up the win there. So he's 1-0 on the season, but has only thrown 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah, and that's good mojo for a guy to come in knowing that he can take on the same situation. Like, hey, this is high pressure. I got to get a strikeout. You come in, you get the strikeout, you leave feeling good. Now, it's really on to him here. He's just got one out to get. Can he do it with this one batter, Evan Eilerman, as we hit the top of the order, so that way he can send him to the top of the 7th with a solid chance to win the game.
You got senior on senior here, so a lot of experience. Evan Eilerman, a very good hitter, and Aiden Shappy can throw really hard.
It's right at the belt, called a strike.
And as you said, I think they kind of relish that role. I think Aiden Shappy likes that thought of him coming in there when they need a strikeout, get you amped up a little bit. He's not a guy you're going to see start, but he does come on in relief a lot.
Fouled up and out of play behind home plate. Those are the types of guys that you rely on late in the game, your relief pitches, your closers. Even when you're down 3 runs, it's still huge for you to come in and get those outs to give your team a chance to fight.
I'm curious if he's going to go with fastball or something off speed. Not a real good off speed pitcher, and he likes to challenge guys with that fastball. See what he comes across with here.
0-2 pitch. Hacked high into center field. Right fielder's going to come over. Center fielder makes the catch. Quick out there, got him, and it's 3 down here as we go to the top of the 7th. It's 4-1 for Loramie here on NKTelco Sports.
Located in Jackson Center, Ohio, Airstream is now hiring for numerous general production positions. Work first shift and earn up to $26 per hour with production and attendance bonuses, 401k employer match, medical, dental, and vision, plus an on-site health clinic, fitness center, and full-service cafeteria. Visit airstream.com/apply to learn more.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Coming back to the top of the 7th, it's 4-1 for Loramie. Got a couple hits there in the bottom of the inning. No score, though. So they were able to put a little bit of pressure on Ruschi here as we go to the top of the 7th. Last chance for Ruschi for real.
Yeah, this is it for the Ruschi Raiders. And Braylon Cadonier, a guy that has yet to get a hit this game. He was the...
Ooh, lines it straight into right field over the first baseman. And trot down to first for the single. Another hit for Ruschi. Maybe that'll get them going here with nobody out, and you got to run on first already.
This is the time to rally. This last opportunity. Cadonier, as I said, hitless so far in the game. Just the 3rd Ruschi hit, so he does get things going. We'll see what Braden Mona can do. The team's leading batter at 486.
Calls time. 486 will get you in the Hall of Fame in the pros. In high school, but still, regardless of that, even in high school, still really good numbers as he grounds it to 3rd. Not even going to bother looking at 2nd. Throws it to 1st. They called him out in time. That one was bang, bang. I honestly thought he was safe. That could have been, I don't know. Honestly, if it was MLB, I think they would probably challenge that, but that was a bang, bang play. It was a good play, though.
Yeah, I think he got it by half a step. Probably a good call there by the base umpire, Mr. Dave McCartney, on that one. But Ruschi's got a runner on 2nd. They need more than just 1 run. They need 3 to tie this thing up.
And not too much discussion from the coaches either, so they're going to let that one slide, I would think, from their side.
Well, I'm impressed with Derek Meyer. He's still bringing it across here in the 7th inning, going another complete game here for the Fort Loramie Redskins, and he looks like he's got just as much heat as he did in the first inning. And
ooh, wow. Looking at the replay here, honestly, I think he might have been in time. He had it, and the ball was about a foot from the glove. But when you're an umpire over there, pretty much in a shortstop position, it's hard to see it from over there where you don't have 4 umps like you do in the pros or in college.
Well, and when there's not a runner on first base, they're down there on the line and can have a little better view of that.
That ball just up a little bit. 2-1 now with 1 down, only a runner on second. So I hate to call out the umps because I'm not one of those people that you have a missed call there that could change the game here for Russia. Now they have to work a little bit harder with 1 down instead of 2 runners on, no out. That ball just a little bit high, 3-1. Now I won't publicly admit to heckling when I go to Cleveland games, but there are times where, as a fan, when you see something like that where it may not be close, it may be obvious, when you're feeling that something like this where now you got to walk to fill that spot, you feel like you could have been gypped there, where now it would have been bases loaded with nobody out. You kind of rouse you up a little bit. Maybe that gives the next guy up on deck. He's thinking, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to show him and take advantage of that. That might give these guys a little bit of juice.
Well, you got Jude Counts coming up, and speaking of juice, this is a guy that juiced the ball over the fence at Russia a couple weeks ago for a 3-run homer, and so he's certainly capable of providing a little power here. You know, Fort Loramie does like to play awful shallow out there. You see how shallow the center fielder is. Counts the guy that can hit it over their head. I'm not sure with this wind how the ball is going to sail. Right now we've got looks like a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, and Patrick Bowman, a senior, so he's going to be batting for Fissinger coming up. So Fort Loramie trying to stop the Raiders from rallying, and Russia right now has something going with runners on first and second and just 1 out.
Bowman's going to be pinch hitting here. He's in the on-deck circle. He's going to follow Counts.
Counts now seen Meyer a couple times, struck out in the second and flew out to the first baseman back in the 5th. And one thing Russia doesn't want to do is hit into a double play and end this ball game.
I was about thinking triple play. I'm like, no, they can hit into a triple play. No, there's no 4 outs here. 1-1 though, with 1 down. Still have a chance for an infield fly rule though. You don't see that much though.
No, you don't.
Tosses that one high, shoulder height. That ball makes it 2-1.
Well, Meyer perhaps having a little bit of control problems for the first time today. It looks like Coach Sanders wants to talk about it. You know, he's got a couple pitches up and out of the zone, just walked the last batter. And so you kind of wonder if Derek Meyer is maybe getting to his limit when it comes to his control.
Yeah, and he's done a great job today. One of the best players that we've seen in this game so far. Really, and these guys have an arbitrary pitch limit. In high school, it's a lot lower than you would in college, and obviously a lot lower than you would in the pros. But you get to about 50, 60 pitches, and no matter what level you are, you start to see some control issues and some more guys than others. But he's been very good up until just this inning. He's had a little bit of issues here now with 2 runners on in just that last walk.
Well, he's a guy that Coach Sanders obviously feels confident about. He went out there, it was a quick conference, came off the mound. Meyer comes back, and we'll see what he's going to do against Counts, down 3-1.
3-1 pitch, got him swinging there with a fastball. Now the count is full. So a ball and a strike since the meeting. And would you give that a successful meeting, or do you think he's still trying to get that out and really use that?
I think he wanted to give him pause.
Well, he did it. Give him a chance to breathe. He got the strikeout, came back after making it a 3-1 count. Russia now down to their final out.
And a big out this is if Fort Loramie can get the out and get out of this inning with the win here. They're going to tie things up in the Shelby County Athletic League.
First pitch, a good one there.
Patrick Bowman, a guy that's typically just brought in as a pinch runner, hasn't got a lot of bats this season, although If you look at the stats there, he's actually the leading hitter on the team as he's 4 for 6 on the season. But again, brought in situations at the end of games, maybe with the second, third pitcher, and he's picked up a few hits that way. But usually just a pinch runner, and right now he's down 0-2.
Yeah, that last pitch was a swinging strike down low. Dropped his arm and gave it a sidearm. See what he does here. 0-2 with 2 down, swinging strike 3. That'll do it. Fort Loramie wins this one 4-1 over the Russia Raiders. It's their second win over, they win now after they had lost to Russia earlier in the season. But this one is final here in Fort Loramie. We're going to come back with the stats, play of the game, and a quick wrap-up here. It's final from Fort Loramie, 4-1 on NKTelco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Allglaze and Sydney Audiology are committed to providing the most advanced and affordable hearing care solutions.
Did you know that more and more insurances are offering coverage for hearing needs and that we are the most comprehensive provider in the area?
Because we want to serve all in our community, we partner with agencies such as Medicaid, OOD, Sertoma, and most recently the VA, helping our veterans find local solutions to their problems.
Don't leave unused benefits on the table this year. Call us today to see if you qualify.
We're back here in Fort Loramie, Ohio. Final score today. Fort Loramie wins over the Russia Raiders 4-1. It was a really solid game. They played clean, only one error. And you had a couple innings where they were able to string some runners together, get some hits, get some guys on base, and they took advantage of that throughout the game, early, middle, and near the end.
Yeah, you knew that coming into this game. You had the top 2 teams in the league. Again, Russia came in at 5-0. You had Fort Loramie at 4-1, and their only loss was to the Russia Raiders. So you knew it was going to be the best 2 teams in the county, and they played like it. It was exactly what we expected. Army went to the hill with Derek Meyer, their ace of the staff. Russia went with Braylon Cordonier, who's going to be a very good ball player. He's only a freshman and a very competent pitcher himself. So it was a good ball game all around.
And if you look back at the keys to the game, you got all 3 that they hit. Get on the board early, scored 2 runners early, check. You prevented the Russia big innings, they only scored 1. You can't have a big inning when you only score 1, check. And the third one, they got the 2 out RBIs. They did that when they had that big inning, so check, check, and check.
Yeah, it was both teams. I said played well, but Fort Loramie especially. And you know, you talk about the end of the lineup. You think that's the part of the lineup where you can get the easy outs, and that wasn't the case today. You had a guy like Owen Plyman who had multi-hits. You had Isaac Ratterman who had a couple singles. The only 2 guys that had multi-hit games were guys that were batting 6th and 7th in the lineup. And they came up big for these Redskins. You expect that from the top of the lineup, but for the Fort Loramie Redskins, they were doing it with the Owen Plymans and the Isaac Ratterman. So kudos to them for the job they did, and they're strong all the way through.
And that's going to move them into the tie atop the Shelby County League at 5-1 with Russia, several games ahead of Watkins and Jackson Center. Got another piece of business to hit here. The NKTelco player of the game had a fantastic outing on the mound today, Derek Meyer.
Yeah, Derek Meyer is a guy that you have to give it to. Even though I talked about the hitting job that Owen Plyman and Isaac Ratterman did, Derek Meyer is a guy that goes out there, throws another complete game. The guy just stays strong throughout. He only gave up 3 hits to the Russia Raiders, who are a very good hitting team, at 7 Ks, and none was more important than the last 2 batters of the game when they needed him the most. Meyer strikes out the last 2 batters of the game. He had 4 1-2-3 innings, Bryce. He just really was efficient on the mound today and did an excellent job.
That's all keys, and that one is the biggest piece to getting a nice 4-1 victory here today over the Russia Raiders. Quick chat over here with the replay times here. We got Tuesday, April 26th at 5 p.m. and April 27th at 7 p.m. If you want to see these games again, it's Tuesday, April 26th and Wednesday, April 27th. Also want to thank some of our sponsors here. 5-Star Recruitment sponsor, Crown Equipment Corporation. MVP sponsors presenting this game, Clopay and Nidec Minster. Scoreboard, as always, First National Bank. Keys to the game, Keyhole Pizza, reliably. Replays, as you can see, winners meets, Sydney Aughley's Audiology with our starting lineups and our stats and recap there, Wagner's IGA, and of course, a player of the game, NKTelco. So for our crew, Tyler Magato on camera, Scott Robinson in the truck, Chris Fissinger with me here doing color. I'm Bryce Hamrick for one final time here from Fort Loramie. Redskins over the Russia Raiders 4-1. Until next time, have a good one, everybody.